Let's go. Let's go.
You know, we had a story to talk about here first, big brother, but Matt has already joined us in the building. He
I'm
has
ready.
here, and I think before we bring him in, we need to give just a little intro here. Matt runs the most popular, I would say,
Yep.
3PL on Twitter. Is that
Yep.
fair? Is that fair? He
Super fair.
does.
Super fair.
The video, the machines, the people, the look. I don't even know where to find other 3PLs. How would you find them? Where are they on the interwebs? We don't know, but we do know that he is steeped in ecom tradition. He has been a brand founder himself, and now he is running the most popular fulfillment business on the interwebs. Matt Schroeder, get in this show. Get inside of here, sir.
Let's go.
What's up, guys?
Let's go.
Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Appreciate the intro. Very, very flattering.
This has been a long time coming, my friend. We have wanted to get you on here. The reason that I've wanted to talk with you and actually visit your place in person, number one, is because it looks so cool. But number two, and I think that you have background on the pains that operators and founders feel, having run Shelly Cove was the name, correct, of the former brand that you used to run. Man, I'd love to know, just before we dive into other things, I'd love to know how that experience as a brand founder informed what you're doing today with Tidalwave. What were the lessons there, and how did that give you perspective on what brands really need as a fulfillment partner?
Yeah, for sure. When we were running Shelly Cove, we never wanted to outsource to a 3PL because we loved the control. I didn't feel like I could trust any big 3PL at the time. This is back in like 2015 to 2018, that kind of time frame. And there were the big name 3PLs that everyone has probably heard of. And I didn't feel like we would get the attention we wanted, all that kind of stuff. So we kept it in-house. And so when we started to pivot from running a brand to running a service business, we felt like that was, I didn't have any data around this on if it was true or not, but I felt like that was a hole in the market where it's like, hey, I think you can run a service business and still give brands the feeling that they are still actually in control with, and they are, like, with a trusted partner that only handles a small-ish number of clients, so that you can really give them the attention on such a crucial part of their business, the operations and physical handling of inventory. It's such a key piece.
Huge. Yeah. And Matt, I would love for you to touch on, as a fellow, print on demand guy, could you touch on a little bit of the fact that of your business where it is print on demand and you kind of turned a corner with it, so to speak? Just with what you've shared publicly, and you don't have to go into too much detail, but it seems like it's now a really solid piece of your business.
Yeah, so this is a common, it's more of a semantic thing. So it's not exactly print on demand. We never did, when people say print on demand, I think most of the time they mean they sell one, make one,
right,
ship it, kind of thing. Right. We would do bulk printing jobs for Shelly Cove for ourselves, printing hundreds of units of inventory at a time. I could get into the why that, that model just made more sense for us, and why it makes sense for some brands and not others. But most of it boils down to cost and quality. But that's what we did. So we got the machinery to handle that bulk screen printing. You're printing hundreds of units of the same design at a time. We had the machinery. It's not running all the time. And so, hey, let's offer this as a service in our downtime when we can sell it to other people. And that is how we got started in that. And that's still the area that we focus on with brands that utilize both the printing and the fulfillment side of our operation. They're brands that generally need hundreds or thousands of units at a time, a lot of times for drops, things like that. And the ability to have it under one roof proves to be beneficial just from a timing perspective. They can, they make 1,000 of them, they sell them really quick. We can spin up the presses and make 1,000 more super fast. And dealing with one party instead of two just makes it easier.
Yeah.
But from the buyer side, I know, Matt, that when you find somebody that you trust that is actually fulfilling on some aspect of your business, I want to find a way to give them more to do. You know what I'm saying? How can they eat up more and do more on my behalf? These people, I like them. They do their work well. How can I find other ways? I would imagine that's a pretty easy sell if you guys are already doing great fulfillment services. Hey, we can take this piece as well. Let's try this new product for this new drop, etc. Is that the case?
Yeah, I mean, we've certainly had a couple of brands that do not sell apparel, or at least t-shirts. They might sell adjacent apparel or things like that. And it's like, hey, look, you're selling a lot of this product. Why don't you try a launch of 300 shirts? See how it goes. And worst case scenario, they have a product that doesn't move as fast as they want. They just don't do it again. Best case scenario, they have a whole new category that can now be handled under one roof. You're not dealing with 90-day lead times from China and having to freight stuff from over there. You can make smaller batches as frequently as you want. So there are certainly some benefits to it, but it's a very special type of brand that like fits into that mold. I'm not saying it would work for everybody. If you're a supplement company, I don't know, you probably don't need to have like a whole investment in line into selling maybe for like an event or something. But if you're sort of a lifestyle brand, it maybe makes more sense.
For the actual fulfillment of things, I think there's a really important question in our space where a lot of folks, just from a cost perspective and just getting started perspective, they want to keep everything in-house. So they want to keep all their margin. They want to try to make sure this thing gets off the ground. Do you have a threshold, a revenue threshold or a unit threshold where you are like, hey, if you hit this, it's probably best for you to kind of find somebody and this would help you a ton?
It's a bit of a loaded question because every brand is so different.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do recommend to everybody, if you're starting a brand, ship the stuff yourself for the first however many orders. It could be a few thousand, it could be however many. I think getting that experience and just knowing how carriers work, what changes the cost of doing something, what actually goes into this, it's super beneficial. I think it's just part of being a founder. You just gotta like get your hands dirty in that area. I totally think that's hugely beneficial. Probably when you have to start exploring, not doing it in your house anymore, like getting a warehouse or getting an employee. Those are like, you can go down that path, but you have to sort of step back and ask yourself, like, do I want to be managing a warehouse and my brand, or do I just want to be managing the growth and of my brand? Both are valid, and there's plenty of brands that self-fulfill and they crush it. But I think that is probably that point where you need to ask yourself, should I outsource this and have predictable cost per fulfillment, or should I do it myself? And in the best case scenario, if my brand continues to grow, I'm probably saving money compared to a 3PL. Or if I have big ebbs and flows where one month I have 5,000 orders, the next month I have 2,500, I'm really losing it on the 2,500 because I have to pay for the rent and the employees and everything. So I think those are the things to think through.
Well, the surprising thing for me, Matt, is that a lot of times, or at least sometimes, the math actually works in your favor to outsource to a 3PL. And I think that's the common kind of thought is, hey, let's save ourselves some money, let's cut our costs, let's make sure that we have control. But I think the math can actually work in your favor to outsource to a 3PL many times. Is that the case?
It certainly can. There's a lot of factors that I don't think people put into, you're crunching the numbers on a spreadsheet. You're like, how fast can an employee pack an order? How many can they do a day? All of that stuff. But, you're not factoring in, okay, I need how many computers and how many packing stations and what if a tape machine breaks? I got to buy a new one. Like all those things. And then I think the variability is the big thing that you can forecast all day long, but as a brand, you really don't know how much volume you're going to be getting. If you've been sitting steady, I'm just going to use round numbers. If you've been sitting steady at 5,000 orders a month, but then a TikTok goes viral and you get 15,000 orders. Yeah. That's great. You can't celebrate for more than half a second because now you have to find the employees to go do that. Whereas, hey, if that happens, dude, go pop a bottle of champagne. That's my job. I got to figure out how I'm going to ship your orders. And that's why you pay us. And like, we will do it. We have the systems in place to figure out how to do that. And then the inverse too is if you're a shipment gets delayed, you don't have any shipments for 3 weeks, you're just selling pre-orders or something. Hey man, you're still paying for that warehouse. You're still paying for all the employees. You're still paying for all the overhead that goes into that. Whereas with the 3PL, it's like, if you don't have any inventory on hand and I'm not shipping any orders, your invoice is zero until stuff comes in. So that's it's more of a, when things are very, very predictable, I'm sure the math could work out that a brand could self-fulfill and save money. But as everyone knows, things are never predictable. So you're saving on the upside and the downside in a lot of cases.
Wow. I think I know that you're pretty much at capacity right now for you guys for total clients. I have an interesting question for you as far as, would you take on somebody where they would say, hey, I want to run my own 3PL. Can I pay you a large sum of money to, basically get me through all of the trials and tribulations, and I will kick you back anyone that you kind of refer over to us. But I'd love to kind of do a franchise type of deal, not in your state, somewhere else.
You wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. Would you do that, Matt?
Well, I think you reach capacity, Matt, and I think you're close to it. But if someone was willing to basically just kick you back everything, and you get the Matt stamp of approval, where hey, these systems are in place, the warehouse is in place, it's up to code, they have all the people, and then you basically are just like, great, I'm going to expand this thing.
Yeah, I mean, that is a great question. How I do it now is if somebody reaches out, I will very often, even if I kind of can gauge, like based on some of the initial questions, it's not going to be an amazing fit, I'll still hop on a call and try to get as much information as I can, because the 3PL network, believe it or not, even though we're competitors to each other, is fairly tight knit. Okay. And so I'll pass leads along all day long. I'm not necessarily looking for anything in return. I have several friends that run 3PLs that it's like, hey, I don't handle shoes, for instance. I know someone who does, so I'll send them to the shoe guy. And I'm sure, what goes around comes back around. I'm sure if he gets someone that needs printed apparel, they'll send them to me. So, for me, it's a huge benefit if I can go to the brand that reached out to us from a referral or whatever. And even if it's not a good fit for us, I can provide them value by telling them exactly where they need to go, with somebody that I know and I've talked to enough and trust. Sure. So it's sort of answering your question. Like, it's not formal. It's not like, oh, I'm getting some take back or anything like that. It's not like a franchise. It's more just like, hey, I got a buddy who runs a great 3PL. Go to him. He's awesome. So that's my setup now.
Matt, the last time I was in-house at a brand, and I have thought about this. If I were to start a brand again. The last time we had a nightmare of an experience. We had a horrible experience, and it was with a very respected name. Okay, I'm not going to say who it was, a very respected name, big boy name, and it eventually came down to we had to get our entire team to physically get in the car, drive there, and go and try to find all of our product, which was a maze, and we had to physically remove it ourselves. If we hadn't, basically all of our inventory was going to be locked up for several months, and it was lost. It was scattered everywhere. I mean, we just found our product everywhere amidst other people's products and even competitors' products. I mean, it was a nightmare. If I were going to do that again, of course, I would want to work with somebody like you that somehow didn't get lost in the sauce of a big system. But how does that happen? How does that happen where things just get lost in other places? And how do you keep that from not happening?
Yeah, I mean, it's a hard question. I've never worked at a 3PL that big, so I don't truly know what goes on under the hood, but I would imagine it's something to the sense of, we have one location, 20 feet behind me is the warehouse where I'm sitting right now. So I'm ultimately the final decision maker here. And so everything rolls up to me. I'm physically here in the building versus a 3PL that might have 20 locations or something like that. There's hardly any decision makers in that building. There's a warehouse manager, like a floor manager or something, but they're handling day to day. They're not handling what happens if a client doesn't pay. What do we do? Like strategic decision making doesn't happen at that level. So it goes up the chain. And they're also, this is another thing, is like, I think some very, very large 3PLs, and I'm not like downplaying this, but take on very large investments to grow quickly. And so they're obligated to their investors to just grow, take on all the clients, take on everything. And you can get over your skis super fast that way and just be super unorganized. Because all that just rolls down to the people on the floor managing the warehouse. Yeah. It's not like a SaaS where you can just onboard 1 million customers and the system's already in place. Like, you're dealing with real people moving real product all day long. And so if you triple what's in a warehouse in 3 months, I don't care who's running it, you're not going to be able to handle that well. And then, I think there's a series of things like that can happen. But yeah, when you're dealing with a smaller place, we have 25 customers. So I talk to them as often as I need to, every single one of them. I know every single founder. I don't think that's something that can happen at a place that has 1,000 customers. It's just not possible. So I think there is some value there.
Matt, I was going to say, Chris knows this. Systems and SOPs, they get me going. They get me hot and bothered.
It's your thing.
I love this right now. This is my. Hey, let's talk all night about this. I have a quick question for you about. We talked with Bart at Dad Gang about he would approach 3PL and basically say, "Hey, can you get me some behind the scenes footage of picking and packing and stuff like that for us as the brand?" And I think it showcases the brand super well. It really gives it a personal feel. Have you thought about that as an upsell offering to brands where it's like, hey, we'll get someone from our team to do some B-roll pick and pack. We'll send you all the clips and it's going to be X amount per month. We'll give you X amount of deliverables, that kind of thing. Multiply it out.
You read?
Did you actually?
We did.
Wow. Whoa. Oh my God.
We're calling it. Yeah. We're calling it Content Pass. So you pay.
Let's go.
Yeah, you pay. We have a full-time videographer in our facility.
Oh my gosh.
And he usually just makes content for us. And we do have some brand, like Dad Gang is a good example. We would just in good faith, just make content for them whenever they ask for it. Cause hey, dude, if it helps them sell more hats, I'll ship more hats. And that's great.
Yeah.
Right. So, but we do have some brands that I don't know that they ever felt that they could ask us for that or they were comfortable asking. So let's add some structure around it. We made it so that it ideally is really affordable, but basically you get like 2 requests a month. You'll get some B-roll footage of people packing or really whatever you want. If it's unloading a trailer, it's unloading a trailer, that kind of thing. And we'll send you the clips, we'll color grade them, all that stuff. And you can use them in ads, do whatever you want with them. So that's a new thing we love. We got 5 people or 5 brands that wanted to do it. So kind of cool.
Yeah. Let's go. That's awesome.
I think what Gary Vee said many years ago, that every company is a media company in some sense. I think that kind of thought is so smart, especially in, forgive me, Matt, but especially in these areas that can kind of be considered more boring. Man, to have.
Oh, yeah. It's a boring business. No doubt about that. It's a warehouse.
But to have a videographer there who is making that warehouse service business sexy and appealing. Yeah. Look at these machines. Look at our people talking. Aren't these like winsome people that you would like to work with? Look at what all we do. To me, it makes you so much more attractive. And then you can add on this, hey, yeah, you did like how those videos looked, right? Hey, well, we can do this for you. We can do, your products come in and get you stuff for your, that's so smart.
Yeah. I think the big win here is we all know how much content brands are constantly needing to push out for media efficiency on Facebook. What you're running Facebook ad, that is the world we live in. If a brand's Facebook ads are doing well, I get to ship more packages and employ more people and make more money. That's amazing. They're making more money. That's great. If I can help them sell more on Facebook, then we're all eating. So it's like, hey, if this is a little thing that I'm able to even like cover some of my costs on the video guides. Like this is not the video part of it is not making us rich by any stretch of the imagination, but the downstream effect is, hey, maybe you find some winner ads. If you see like really big brands like Oats Overnight, I think does a really good job of this. They have like in warehouse video, and it's because they run their own facility, like they make their own oats there. But a lot of our brands, it's like they don't live near us. They can't come just film video whenever they want. I would let them if they live near us, but it's like, hey, maybe we can help them and have that a new angle for marketing that they can really sell to their customers. So I think it's a huge win. I feel like more 3PLs are going to maybe start doing some of that, which is cool.
Yeah, I noticed that Rise, the energy drink company, is doing a lot of that also in-house because they do their own fulfillment. And so they started to shoot a ton of content inside of the warehouse itself. When I was, when I had my brand in Charleston and we had the 3PL in Charleston, I would visit these guys and they would get super jazzed up about new machines or any new little fun toy that they had. Do you have anything you're looking at right now where you're like, oh, if I could just get that and expand the product offering a little more? You have anything you're eyeballing where you're like, oh, she's my darling right now? Because that's how they would talk about it. Where they'd be like, hey, dude, come over here. Look at this machine. Look at this thing. And I'd be like, oh my God, that's huge. They'd be like, yeah, it is.
I like the one man finishing whatever thing that was. Where it just rolls down the line and
that's our newest one. It's really helpful. We already had a folding and bagging machine. It didn't label and it was a 2-person job. So this like streamlines it to folding a shirt, bagging it, and barcoding it, which is awesome. Nice. I don't know. Me and Bradley, my business partner, were just talking about this. I don't think there's anything huge on the horizon that we need to get. Of course, there will be like little things. Sure. We have one brand that might want to do some like laser engraving. Laser engravers aren't particularly expensive, but like, we could, we actually already have one, but it's probably not suitable for like large scale, like high volume stuff. So we could get another one. But any big stuff, we tried direct to garment printing. So like actual print on demand last year. We went all out. We got 4 machines for it. Whoa. We had some like volume already. We got them at a pretty good deal of a shop that was closing down. It was just like, I think this is just a distraction. We weren't particularly good at it. You run the sort of like isolated P&L on it. You're like, I don't think we're really making money on this either. And so I think it's just distracting us from doing a really good job on what our core focus should be. So we ditched it. We sold them, took a haircut on it, but whatever. And so we've done too many of those where we get, it's like shiny object syndrome. Like, what's this new thing that we can do and get excited about? And like, I think we're getting better at realizing if we can't crush it and if it's not a value add to more clients than just attracting new ones, like if it's not a value add to existing clients, then it might not be worth exploring.
Got it. Makes sense.
I love shiny objects. Colin knows. I'm a big fan. Big fan of shiny objects. I think actually my personality is built around shiny objects. I really do think that. Matt, man, we appreciate you, taking the time and coming on the show. But before you get out of here, I saw on Twitter, there was an invitation for brands who want to come out and check out this thing and take a look around. Is that still open? Is that invitation still open?
That is super legit. I love showing off our facility. I love showing off what we do. Chattanooga, Tennessee, it's a beautiful city. So you'll have a great time here outside of the 4 walls of this building too. But yeah, no, if you're legitimately interested in either just coming to check it out, or you're looking for a 3PL, I will gladly give you a personal tour of the place. I love showing it off. So just DM me.
Well, the next time that we make it out to the Smoky Mountains, Colin and I want to come and we want to live stream that tour. We do. Show us all those shiny toys and see everything that you're doing back there. Brother, it's clean. It looks good. It all looks sexy and fancy on video. Man, you've got a great thing going, and we appreciate you coming on here and making the time, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Matt. Wow. That is so encouraging.